gorgeous, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be playing with a whole bunch of new things that I bought, or new-ish things rather, because I have played with them before. Things that I bought during last fall and the holidays that I haven't had a chance to play with yet. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and a thumbs up and subscribing to see more. I cannot wait to continue sharing new videos with you guys. I'm really pumped to kind of get back into it. Feels so good. Today I want to do some color correcting. I'm going to start off though with my Tatcha Liquid Silk Primer. I especially love this one because I can get my deep frown lines here and my makeup doesn't necessarily settle into it as much. But this one's my favorite. I've gone through one of these. I'm on my second one. I'm just going to work that into my forehead and right around my T-zone. And before I go in with color correcting, I actually want to take my Natasha Denona Hygiene, which one is this one? The Hygiene Serum. I'm going to use this on the perimeter of my face. I haven't had a chance to really use this yet, and I got this one late fall, I think it was, but I kind of want to see how it looks with my new foundation here. And I'm just going to pick that up. I'm going to place it right around the perimeter. I don't really want it on my forehead though. I'm going to use that same brush and just work it in. Now before I go in with anything else, I am going to color correct. I have a few things that I would like to kind of cover up a little bit more besides my under eyes. I have some dark spots and a little bit of redness. I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury color corrector in the shade Fair. And I'm just going to give fair warning now. It's a Sunday. All the kids are home, but my 4-year-old especially is loud and having fun, so I do apologize in advance. During the holidays, I picked up several things from SISLEY that were on sale. I was able to get a pretty decent discount, and I hadn't tried anything from SISLEY except for their powder and one lipstick. So I decided now would be a good time. I picked up the Fido Blanc Le Cushion Pure Bright Cushion Foundation. It's SPF 50. This was a spring launch, I believe it was. I could be mistaken. I actually just don't remember. I got mine in the shade 0C Vanilla. There is 15 grams of product in this. The shade, I've used it before. I've used it twice. The shade is perfect for me right now. I actually have a sponge that I'm going to use. It comes with this sponge instead. I haven't used it. I've been using one of these little sponges that I found on Amazon. And I just work it into this sponge here, and I just kind of place that around everywhere that I want it. And of the 2 times that I have worn this foundation, I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It is a beautiful lightweight foundation. I really like the way this looks. This is so beautiful. It's honestly the first cushion foundation I've ever used. I would say, I built it up, so I would say it's a solid light coverage foundation. Last fall I also picked up the Christian Louboutin Teint Fetiche Multi-Use Foundation Concealer Face Balm. And I picked mine up in the shade 10 Neutral Ivory Nude. I have used this multiple times before. I love the way this looks on my skin. It actually is very smoothing. It's about half a shade to a shade too light for me, but I can still make it work. And the few times that I have worn it with this cushion foundation, I absolutely loved it. It was very smoothing. You couldn't see a lot of my pores, but I still take one of those sponges and I just kind of work it into this and put it around my T-zone. And I just kind of build up a little more coverage here. There aren't a lot of there aren't a lot of shades to pick from though, which is the problem. I believe the shade after this one is still a little too dark for me, so maybe I'm kind of in between. I don't have a new concealer, so I'm just gonna go in with my Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. Mine is in the shade R2. I'm gonna use that on a BK Beauty 109 brush because I feel like I get the best coverage and the easiest blendability with this brush. Before I set anything, I actually saw this from Morgan Turner's video. I forget which TikToker she was following, but I tried it and I actually really liked it. I'm gonna spray a sponge with my Charlotte Tilbury. Actually, I'm gonna spray my face instead and then use the sponge to press it in before I powder. I'm not entirely sure if it made my makeup last longer the other day, but I felt like it did. Now I'm gonna take my Dior Lavender powder for my under eyes. This one's my favorite for my under eyes. I'm gonna pick that up on a Sonia G brush. Just gonna work that in and set my concealer. I'm not gonna powder my whole face just yet because I wanna use a cream bronzer. I'm gonna pick up that same powder with one of these little powder poofs, just a little bit more, and kind of work it in to the poof. Now I'm gonna get my nose. Before I go any further, I'm actually gonna pick up my Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. I have mine in the shade 0.5. I did pick this up during the holidays. I decided after years of just holding off, I would actually give it a try because so many people love it. I'm gonna pick it up on a Sydney Grace brush. The last time I used this, it worked really well with this brush. I haven't actually touched the highlighter yet. I've only ever touched the bronzer. I'm gonna try the highlighter today. I like to work my bronzer up to my hairline. I do have thinning hair, so this actually helps me feel a little more confident. I do a patting motion. I don't swipe it back and forth. I feel like a patting motion just makes it look a little better blended. My face looks so much more sculpted and it's so effortless. I enjoy that. I am now gonna go ahead and powder the rest of my face. That's the only cream product, well, besides the highlighter. I'm gonna try the highlighter over my powder, but I'm gonna use my Sisley powder. I have this one in the shade number 1, Iris A. I think this shade is a little dark for me. I should have picked up the pink shade forever ago. I wasn't sure if that one would work or not. In hindsight, it probably is the better powder to use, but I'm not buying a new one until I get through this one. The only complaint I have for this one is the component. I loathe this pop-up lid. It is very messy. Not a fan. I'm gonna use a Sephora brush and just pick that up and just buff it all over my face. I'm actually really loving how that looks. This foundation is so beautiful. I don't see any cakiness. I love it. There's still a healthy glow to my skin. This is not new at all. This is the Kaleidos Contour Trio. I'm going to contour my nose. This is my favorite powder to contour with. I'm gonna pick up this shade here. This trio is the lightest one. I like using this shade just to contour right around my nose here to give it a little more shape. Yes, I did my brows off camera. I can't do them on camera. I need to get close and personal to look at them because this eyebrow is a misfit. I'm gonna skip forward to my bronzer and my blush. I also picked up the Sisley Phyto Touch bronzer. I, for the longest time, just thought the embossing, the bronzer itself was just so beautiful. I did not know the packaging would feel as cheap as it does for being such an expensive bronzer. I picked this up during the sale too, so I didn't actually pay full price. I think in the US it's like $130, $135. I only paid $70. I may not be able to use this until summer, but that is very beautiful. I've seen where it's been compared to the SUQQU bronzer. I haven't compared them yet. I am gonna have to get around to comparing them. I'm gonna use a Sigma Kristen Dominique brush. Hopefully this will pick up the gelée. Ooh, let's just go in lightly first. Did I even get any on that brush? I don't think it's picking up on my brush here. I'm not sure if it's because of the brush or... Yeah, it kind of picks up. I could probably use a different brush for this. And those are my dogs, I'm sorry. I'm gonna use a SUQQU brush. This one's the Jumbo Bronzer. Gonna bring it down my neck and see. Okay, I think it picked up a little bit better with this brush. I'm gonna have to try it again without my cream bronzer underneath. I just feel like, it's not really giving me the color payoff I want. I know people love it, but I might be using it wrong, or I might need a different brush. We'll see. But I'm gonna skip ahead and just do my blush instead. And this one has the most beautiful packaging. It has a little velvet pouch to it. This is a zebra package. It's so adorable. It's got a magnetic close. This is the shade I got, 2 Rosy Fuchsia. I'm gonna use a SUQQU. This one is a Designer Pro to pick this up. I'm gonna pick up a Sydney Grace brush and just try that on the other cheek. I don't think it's more unique than any of the other blushes I have though. I'm trying to think. I don't think it's more unique than the Armani blush. I feel like that one I like a little bit more. This one just kind of feels like a normal blush. Nothing special about it. Just a price tag. Before I go in with my highlight though, I want to buff this down a little bit. I just feel like it's a little too much. Sometimes I don't mind. Right now I do. Sometimes I actually love just going out and looking all rosy faced. Moving right along, I'm going to pick up the Tom Ford highlighter. I haven't used it yet. This is gonna be my first time using it. I'm not even sure how it's gonna look over powder, so I'm a little bit nervous. And I'm not sure which sponge I wanna use either. Ooh. That's dewy. Oh, this is gonna be a good makeup day, I can tell. And it layered over that powder so nice. I don't know, it doesn't feel like, that doesn't feel sticky. It feels fine. I feel like it might set down, but I do wanna use a powder. So I'm gonna use the Holiday palette from Hourglass. There's a highlighter in here that I'm obsessed with. You can't get this highlighter yet in their permanent line, but it's this shade right here. It is beautiful, so beautiful. It's gonna kind of set the formula down for me. It's gonna give me an extra little oomph. This is a Milk Cosmetics highlight brush. Gonna bring a little bit down the bridge of my nose. I don't like to highlight the tip of my nose, not my style. One last thing I picked up during my fall holiday extravaganza, I guess you could say, is the SUQQU 20th anniversary powder. This one, I got the shade pink. I do like pink powders. Lavender just seemed like it was a little too brightening. I love this powder. I don't use it enough. I definitely need to use it more, but I only ever really use it around my T-zone just to kind of finish. For my lips today, I'm gonna use a Pat McGrath lip pencil. This one is in the shade Done Undone. And I got Kaleidos Skinny Dip Untamed Glow Glossy Lip. This thing is amazing. It feels so comfortable. Right now I have on the Blend Bunny lip oil. My lips are so dry. The weather sucks. There's snow outside. No bueno. Okay, this is a very nude shade. The packaging, you might be able to tell, is a little questionably shaped. This is a beautiful nude shade. The formula is outstanding. It's so soft and so comfortable. Been able to wear this all day. I'm gonna film my eyes in a separate video because I wanna use my new Unearthly Cosmetics palette. Ta-da! I'm back. My eyes are done, my face is done, my makeup is done. This is a good makeup day. I feel so fierce, so beautiful, so sultry. I love the way my eyes turned out. Let's talk about this foundation. So beautiful, so stunning. I don't even know where to begin. It just looks so radiant. And I know I put down that Natasha Denona primer, but it just looks so good and so healthy. I can't help but stare at my skin. It looks amazing. This is an amazing cushion foundation, and I've never used a cushion foundation before. I love it. The Christian Louboutin Concealer Foundation Balm. I don't know why this doesn't get more hype. I don't know why this isn't talked about more. I haven't seen more reviews on it. This is beautiful. This thing is so silky and creamy, and it blended out with that sponge so beautifully. Let me show you this shade. This is 10 Neutral. It definitely is a slight touch too light for me, but it could just be the undertone. I need more of a pinky undertone, but I love how smoothing it is on my T-zone, especially here through my smile lines. I can't tell you how beautiful my T-zone looks. My forehead looks amazing. My little frown lines, they don't look so deep right now. I just feel like my skin is the best skin it's been in a long time, but I haven't really done anything different. Oh, ooh, it's so beautiful. And this packaging, can we talk about the packaging? 10 out of 10. Sorry for my son. He's definitely excited too. It does come with its own sponge. I don't use a sponge. I've got ones that I like more, but this thing was way too expensive for what you get. Way too expensive. It is $60 for 10 grams. Multiply that times 3 and you get a normal foundation of 30 grams or 30 mLs. This highlighter is amazing for a cream highlighter, and I'm not a big cream highlighter person. It's amazing. The SISLEY Bronzer, I couldn't really tell you if I like it or not yet. I'm not really sure I used the right brush for it. I definitely need to kind of figure that out and play with it some more. I feel like it did okay. I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep playing with it. I'm kind of on the fence with it. I definitely don't like the packaging. The packaging is very flimsy and cheap. The blush, the packaging, 10 out of 10. The blush color, I like it. Formula, nothing special. I'm not wowed by it. I like my Armani blushes more. I'm not mad that I have it though. I got it on sale. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you haven't done something for yourself, do something for yourself because you deserve it.